Register now.
Hello, my dear children. Namaste and welcome to this very, very special and a very, very useful session for you all, in which we are going to talk about how to complete CBSE Class 10th Science in your last 3 months. Okay, so everyone would have their own timetable strategies, but here is my view of it, and let us discuss this. And just in case you're attending my session for the very first time, this is Ambika, your biology master teacher, right here on this amazing platform of Vedantu. Okay, guys, I sincerely hope all of you have been doing well in terms of your studies, your revision, and everything else related to this. I understand there is a lot of uncertainty and anxiety around thinking about whether board exams will happen, if at all they do happen, will it happen on time, and things like that. So all that aside, that is just one side of it, something that's not even under our control, right? So let's just not fuss over, let's not be anxious about things that are completely out of our control. Let's definitely go ahead and do our part. Okay, so assuming that everything's going to happen on time, let us try and think about the best possible strategies that will help us do our best. Okay, but as always, starting with a positive quote: stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. So closely related to what I just said, right? And completely makes sense to you when you think about your board exams, especially I think children who appear for your major board exams for 10th and 12th, whichever board you may belong to, state boards or ICSE, CBSE, whatever it may be, and one of the competitive exams, any of those competitive exams, might have a lot of uncertainty in their minds. So just do not think about any of it. Just stay positive, keep working hard constantly, make it happen. Okay, so let's now start with when our exam is going to start. For CBSE Class 10th, tentatively, we are currently assuming that the exams are going to start on the 15th of Feb. Right, okay. So let's assume it's going to start. So like you can see there, like Mr. Bean here, you are quite likely to have a look at the question paper like this, and then, look at it with a scared expression this way, in case you are not prepared. But let's avoid this. So the key to avoiding such a situation, key to prevent such a situation, is to ensure that you start your preparations as early as you can. And there is no right time to that. Now is the time to get started. Instead of making beautiful timetables and wasting your time, now is the time to just get started. Okay, so let's assume that if it starts on the 15th of Feb, the main subject exams, usually according to the trend of CBSE, usually the main subject exams would start after the 20th of Feb, most likely. Okay, so considering it is going to be like that, assuming it's going to be like that this year as well, let us now talk about your three major science subjects, which are physics, chemistry, and biology. Right, okay. So in physics, you have these four major chapters, which are light, human eye and the colorful world, electricity, and magnetic effects of electric current. Of course, some chapters in science also, like other subjects, have been deleted, and some topics within chapters may also be deleted. Think about all that. That is completely, the respective teachers have told you about those. And then talking about chemistry. In chemistry, there are 5 chapters: chemical reactions, acids, bases, and salts, metals and non-metals, carbon and its compounds, and periodic classification of elements. Okay, so 4 in physics, 5 in chemistry, making it 9, plus 4 in biology. What are they? Life processes, how do organisms reproduce, heredity and evolution, our environment. Okay, so 9 plus 4, that makes it 13 chapters in science in all. So let us now get started with talking about our 90-day study plan. Okay, now it's the month of November. 90 days from now, let's make a plan. What is it going to be? 70 days of preparation, which is going to be like proper studies, and 20 days exclusively for revision. Okay, what you need to do in those 20 days of revision also I will tell you, but 70 days preparation. Many times, you know what happens when I was a student, myself and many others also I know, There have been cases where we were so lost in, we were, we literally wanted to just keep convincing ourselves, okay, this chapter is done, this chapter is done, 3 chapters are done, 4 chapters are done. So instead of focusing on the quality, many times we commit the mistake of focusing on quantity. But remember, in these 70 days preparation, remember, keep in mind very, very clearly that these 70 days are going to decide your future, are going to decide what your results are going to be like. Of course, I am here only to talk to you about science. It is completely your responsibility to modify it according to your needs, your strengths and weaknesses. And keep in mind also that you have your other subjects as well to focus on: maths, English, social studies, and anything else that you may have, be it language or computer science or anything that you have to learn as a fifth subject. Everything is equally important, children. Okay, so for science, let us start looking at what you would do in these 70 days of preparation. So number of days is 70, number of chapters is 13, roughly. So the number of days that you can allot per chapter is going to be 70 by 13, which is approximately 5.38 days per chapter. So let us keep it as 5 days. Okay, 5 days roughly per chapter. All right, so considering that, what do you do in these 5 days? 5-day technique is what we are going to discuss now for each chapter in science. Remember, for your 13 science chapters. All right, so starting with day 1, okay, try spending about 3 hours. Now the duration is completely up to you, children, but then I'm here to give you a basic idea. Some of you may need only 2 hours, some of you may need 4 hours. That's totally your call. Okay, day 1 is going to be exclusively NCERT based study. Read through the chapter, the particular chapter in your textbook, get a thorough understanding of it, mark the important points, make notes, and whatever would help you in your last minute preparation. Thoroughly NCERT based study. Okay, day 1. Day 2 and 3, go ahead and make it more question based. Basically, you are going to attempt NCERT exercises and NCERT exemplar questions on days 2 and 3. Spend a total of 3 plus 3, 6 hours, okay, on an average. But as I said, time duration can vary according to what kind of a student you are and how comfortable you are with these. And then comes day 4, wherein you spend 2 hours exclusively going through previous year's questions. When I say going through, it's not like sitting back and lying down and relaxing and reading through it like reading a magazine. No, I'm talking about proper systematic study. This is also very, very important. Solving past year's papers is a very, very crucial part of your exam preparation. Okay, so at least make it a point to go through the 2020 paper, 2019 and 2018, at least these 3. Okay, and that too, since it's going to be chapter specific, because remember, we are now talking about 5 days for one single chapter. Of that, say for example, life processes, day 1 spend 3 hours reading through everything of life processes in NCERT, make notes, underline, highlight, whatever you want to do. Day 2 and 3, NCERT exercises and exemplar for life processes. Day 4, spend your time going through the past year's papers, at least the past 3 to 5 years papers is what I would suggest. In those papers, mark out the questions that have come from the chapter life processes. Okay, and see if you're able to answer them without directly looking at the key, the solutions part of it. Try and see for yourself if you are able to answer them. Okay, if you can, great, that will greatly boost your confidence. If you cannot, see where you can improve, focus on your area of improvement, and then come back to it later. And day 5, use it to recharge yourself. If at all you want to go through your self-made notes once again, or anything else that you want to add to ensure that this day 5 is going to be the last chance for you to make life processes or the respective chapter a very, very thorough one in your mind, convert it to subconscious memory, use day 5. Okay, recharging is also very, very important. That is why. And then now let's talk about a question-based approach with targets. What exactly is that? Now, a question-based approach is very, very important, especially at this point of time, because we are nearing the end of the academic year, right? So day 1, as I told you, should exclusively be your NCRT based study. But at the same time, make it a point to focus on 1 marks questions. What I'm saying is, you know what, when I was a student, our teachers told us whenever you read 1 or 2 paragraphs from your textbook, make it a point to think about it. Once you have completed a section of it in your textbook, mentally think about what questions can possibly be asked from that portion. I'm not telling you to spend time writing down that question, writing down the answers. No, nothing at all. Just think about it for yourself. That itself will do. If done in the right manner, a thought process itself will work wonders. Say, for instance, coming back to our example, life processes, you have completed reading the portion which is about photosynthesis. Just once you have completed that particular concept, spend some time thinking about what are the possible 1 mark questions, and if possible, if time permits, if it fits into your time frame, your timetable for that particular day, try to think about 2, 3, and 5 marks questions also that can possibly come from that portion. Okay, self study from NCRT. And then days 2 and 3, as I have told you, focus mainly on NCRT exercises and exemplar, and your main special target should be on 2, 3, and 5 marks questions. Everything in that particular chapter which is worth being asked for a 2 marks, 3 marks, or 5 marks question. Think about that. You must be completely prepared for it. If you need, there are children who lose their focus if they do such an exercise by just reading through it. So if you're that kind of a student, don't hesitate to keep a notebook aside near you, beside you, either a rough notebook or a few loose sets of sheets. You may not even look at it later on. That's all right. But then to ensure that you focus completely, it's a good idea to keep a notepad or something to scribble down and write down the answers to these questions. Okay, so I'm giving you a guidance, but at the same time, I'm leaving it flexible. I'm leaving room for enough flexibility so that you can modify it to suit your needs as well. Okay, and then day 4, of course, I've told you already, 2 hours, roughly 2 hours, previous year's questions, 2020, 19, and 18. If possible, I would suggest 2015 to 2020, at least past 5 years questions from this particular chapter. And ensure that you focus on revising it thoroughly and gaining confidence in that particular chapter. At the end of day 4, when it is day 5, at the end of day 5, you should be able to tell me with full confidence, okay, ma'am, ask me even when I'm completely asleep, ask me any question from this chapter, I will be able to answer. You have to have that sort of confidence by the end of day 5. Okay, and how do you get that kind of confidence? By revising through it thoroughly, so that what you have read through gets converted to your subconscious memory, so that it is more of long lasting memory. Okay, so what do you do in the last 20 days? So the 70 days plan, I have told you, each day use it, 5 days for each chapter, 5 into 13, roughly it will come close to 70 days, right? So this will help you cover all the 13 chapters which are part of your science. Okay, do the same exercise for the other chapters as well, for physics, chemistry, and the other chapters of biology. Now the last 20 days, the revision part of it. Revision in the sense, revise it plus solve past year's papers. The last 20 days before your board exam begins. That is what I'm talking about. Okay, so what do? Try and make time for at least 2 papers, solving 2 previous year's papers per day. 2 papers per day. Okay, try doing this. This should definitely work. Ideally, this should work because you wouldn't have school around that time, because most schools give study holidays at least 2-3 weeks before the board exams begin. So if you aim at 2 papers per day, along with revision in whatever sense you want, whichever subjects you want to revise, make it a point to go through them either in NCRT or the summary at the back of every chapter in NCRT, or whatever material you have available for your own reference. Go through all of that. That too, not for all subjects. It's your responsibility to divide it equally well, do justice to all your 5 subjects. So the thing is, when you do 2 papers per day, the 2 papers that I'm saying is overall, okay? It has to be a mix of science and maths, or it can be maths and English, or it can be science and English. It can be any other subject, social studies and English, whatever you want. These 20 days, I am requesting children, literally requesting, that you must keep it aside exclusively for past year's papers for all your subjects. So when you solve 2 papers per day, that means in 20 days you would get the time to solve 40 papers totally. So considering you have 5 subjects in all, it would be 40 by 5. You get the time to solve 8 papers per subject. Isn't that great? Yes, this is definitely very, very good. Well, I would suggest, honestly speaking, you need even practice with more number of papers, but then I'm sure you would get that if you start planning right now. But in those 20 days alone, if you do it right, if you utilize the time correctly, you will get the time to solve 8 papers per subject. Trust me. Now, I think I have said this in one of my earlier sessions also. When I was in class 10, that is when I really, really realized, I actually completely realized the importance of solving past year's papers, because I had an amazing maths teacher. I had an amazing private maths tutor, where one of my friends, my best friend and I, we used to go to her for maths tuitions, like after school. So she used to give us amazing practice. In the month of September, I guess September or October, she had completed teaching us all the chapters of maths, and then the next few months were exclusively used for solving past year's papers. So what she did was, the first 5 papers, we did it sort of as a teamwork. She Ma'am was also there to help us out, to guide us, and we all solved it like classwork in class. And then after that, she encouraged us to go to her place as and when we had the time to, so that she would give us some past year's paper, ask us to sit alone by ourselves. Not like she would be there to monitor us all the time, but then she would tell us, okay, I'm trusting you guys. If you really want to, improve yourself, if you are completely dedicated to yourself, if you are completely sincere to yourself, you will definitely not cheat. I have that faith. She would tell us that. And we would very, very systematically sit down and have a dedicated notebook for that and solve it with the time. 3 hours for a paper, and we would do it. And by the time it was our board exam, my friend and I, we were so engrossed in this paper solving activity. We had solved approximately, I think, 27 or 30 question papers in all, only in maths. And that greatly boosted our confidence, and it led to huge results also for us in class 10 maths exams. So definitely, children, that was the time when I realized past year's papers can do wonders. Okay, so of course I agree that this year there are changes in the syllabus, but then it's all right. Keeping all that in mind, still assume it, each paper you take up in your hand, assume it to be your actual question paper. Time yourself, keep all your study material aside, be fully dedicated to it. Okay, so that's about it. And children, I'm sure this will benefit you all, and remember, we are always here to support you. So remember to visit the link in the description box below and check out the pinned comment to know more about the very, very highly structured courses that we have at Vedantu. Vedantu Pro subscription courses available for you, long-term courses as well as short-term courses, all available for you. And remember to apply the coupon code AMBPRO to avail the best discounts or the best benefits that we have on those. Okay, children? So thank you very much. If you have liked this, if you have enjoyed watching this video, please do remember to click on the like button right now. Share it with everyone, children, be it CBSE, ICSE, or even grade 8, 9, 10, any grade, any board. Please do share it with them, so that what I'm saying is, it will certainly give an idea to every child as to how to plan the upcoming days. Okay, do remember, time is very, very precious. whether or not the exams are going to happen on time is not in our control. So, leaving all that aside, I want you all to start your 90-day preparation right away today. Today has to be your day one, not tomorrow. If you say tomorrow, then it's gone. It's not going to happen. Okay? And stay subscribed to our channel Vedantu 9th and 10th English, because just like this we will come up with a lot more motivational, inspiring and very very useful sessions for you in the days to come. Right children, and do remember to follow me on my Instagram page, official page as well, Ambika_Vedantu, and you can also remember to reach out to me on email just in case you think that I'm not replying on time. Please do send me a reminder as well, because there are times when there are too many messages, I may miss out on some of your emails. Okay, children, so that's about it from my side. Do leave your comment here, your feedback here, what you think about this in the comment section below. And if there is anything you would like to add to this, please feel free to mention that as well, because sharing is caring. So sharing of tips would mean it's going to help thousands of other children as well. So thank you very much. And this is Ambika signing off. Bye bye.